Hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to a very cold day here in the city of Lincoln. Now when I came out it was -3 degrees Celsius. It's about -1 now. Now today's video we are going to fly a toy grade drone round some of the wasteland and some of the common ground here in Lincoln, so stick around. So hello my friends. Well, like I was saying in the introduction, we're going to be flying a drone. Now we just get away from all these horses. We're on South Common here in Lincoln. Now, flying drones in the city of Lincoln is prohibited. Now that is because Lincoln is a no-fly zone, because we've got RAF Waddington and RAF Scampton in the vicinity. Now the Red Arrows were at RAF Scampton and they often practice over the skies of Lincoln. So this is why Lincoln is a no-fly zone. Plus of course it's a residential place. Now I'd like to thank the EAST Midlands Press for making this happen today. Without their help I couldn't actually come out here and fly drones. God, I must actually pick warmer days to come out. Like I was saying in the introduction, it's about -3. Well, it certainly was -3 when I came out, so it's a very cold day. But then I've only got a very small window to actually do this. According to the RAF Waddington control room, there's no flights, military flights this morning or tomorrow morning, so I need to make this video over the next couple of days. Now RAF Scampton is actually closing. It was the home of the Red Arrows, but they've now moved to RAF Waddington. Now they're going to convert RAF Scampton into an immigration centre. We've got so many people now, illegal immigrants coming across here. Nearly 50,000 arrived last year. They're expecting some 100,000 this year. And really we're only a small island. We don't have the room for these people, so they're going to convert RAF Scampton, so there's no flights from there now. Right, just trying to move away from those horses. We don't want to scare them with the drone. Now drone laws in the United Kingdom, they're quite complex. There's different laws for different sized drones, toy drones and professional drones, and the weight of them and all sorts. Now, one of the laws is you have to be at least 150 meters away from buildings and at least 50 meters away from the general public. Okay, so we found a nice flat spot to fly the drone anyway. Oh, I wish it wasn't so cold, as I keep on saying. Now, because it's so cold, I always keep a hot water bottle in my bag. Now, this is to keep the drone batteries warm. Not hot, but warm. I've got a friend of mine, he's got an electric car. During the summertime, he gets about 220 mile range, but during the winter time, that cuts down to about 160 miles. Now, with drone batteries, that's very similar. During the summertime, I get about 10 to 12 minutes, but during the winter 4 to 5 minutes. So I try and keep the drone batteries nice and warm. Plus, of course, on a cold day like this, I can warm my hands up on it as well. So here we are, a toy grade drone, and we have some nice warm batteries in here. Now, I am a registered drone user, and this drone is also registered as well. Now, the strange thing about this toy drone is this manufacturer that makes it makes an identical one without the camera. Now, the one without the camera is considered a toy and it doesn't have to be registered, but as this one has the camera on the front, this one has to be registered. Now, today's video, what we are going to do is we are just going to take off to about 80 to 100 feet, do a very slow 360-degree circle, just shooting video around South Common, and then I shall move to another part of Lincoln, Waste Ground or West Common, somewhere like that. There's also an old gravel pit, so we're going to go there. So we're not actually going to fly over the city of Lincoln. Like I said, Lincoln is prohibited. Even what we're doing today, we shouldn't really be doing, but we do have permission. We have checked for aircraft. We have been told just to look out for the ambucopter, which takes off just in case any accidents in the region. So, let's get things started. Got nice flat ground. Okay, so let's go. A flight across Lincoln's South Common. Right, I think we will move the drone round into a good position to start. And what better place to start than Lincoln Cathedral, towering above the city in all of its glory. And do you know, at one time was the tallest building in the world, a title it held for 238 years. Now in the centre of the picture we can see the famous Lincoln City football ground, Sincilbank Stadium, the home of the Red Imps football team. Now the Imps have been playing football there since 1895. So this is South Common, found on the southeastern edge of Lincoln, about a mile from the city centre. Now for all those who don't know it, there is a footpath that runs along the top of the common and offers some really great views of the city on a clear day. The footpath is part of the Viking Way, a long-distance route of about 147 miles that starts in Barton upon Humber and continues up to Oakham in Rutland. Now, just coming into view is a striking shape of the Bomber Command Memorial Spire of the International Bomber Command Centre, a tribute to all who served in the RAF in conflicts past and present. Right, we'll turn the drone round now, back to where we started at Lincoln's Cathedral. Then we will move on to our next place. Okay, so here we are with the second video clip, and we are now flying above some waste ground in the city. Now, this land was once the home of the Ruston Sinclair building, which was sadly demolished to make way for student accommodation. Now, I did make several videos of the demolition, and they are still on my channel if anyone wants to view them, because this site has historical interest. Now, Rustons were this country's largest producer of aircraft engines during the First World War, and also went on to produce some 2,750 aircraft during the First World War. Rustons also manufactured steam locomotives, steam shovels, cars and even tanks for the Second World War. Now, this site is earmarked to potentially accommodate over 600 students once all the buildings have of course been built. Okay, so here is our third clip, and we are on some waste ground near Valentine's Way off Tritton Road, looking down on student accommodation that has been built on the former Super Bowl Odeon cinema site. There really has been an abundance of student accommodation being built all over the city since the university came. Now, next to the student accommodation, we have a retail park with the likes of TK Maxx, Asda Living, and Next, to name but a few. And in the distance we can see Tritton Road and Dixon Street. Now, as we move the drone further round to all of the green land that's in front of us, this land is what the City of Lincoln Council call the Western Growth Corridor, with some 3,200 homes, shops, businesses, and even Lincoln City Football Club are thinking about building a new stadium and sporting complex on all of this ground. This is all part of plans to extend the city over the next 20 years. Now, there has been thousands of objections to this plan, as some say that the land is part marshland and a floodplain for the River Witham and the Fosdyke Canal. So the homes and businesses that are built there will be at risk of flooding. Now, for the past 50 years they've been on about building on this land, but it's only now that they've actually put a plan together to start. Okay, so now on to our fourth clip, and we are now at West Common, looking down on the old grandstand, which is part of the Lincoln Racecourse. Now, the grandstand dates back to 1897 and is a Grade 2 listed building. The racecourse itself was established in 1773 and finally closed in 1965. Now, as West Common is common ground, many people still keep horses on this ground, and I've made sure that we are not anywhere near any of the horses, as I don't wish to frighten any of them with the drone. Okay, so here we are with our next clip. Now we are actually flying above a quarry here in Lincoln, a disused quarry. I believe it's now called Greetwell Hollow Nature Reserve. Now I didn't actually know that there was a quarry here. I believe it was still operational right up until 2003. So I've been told. Now it's situated on the northeastern edge of Lincoln, between the Carlton Estate to the north and Greetwell Road to the south. Okay, we're coming across some shops and businesses now. This is what we call the Carlton Centre. It's a sort of shopping complex. Now I'm just going to fly the drone out slightly in this clip. I do believe I saw a tent somewhere out here. You can just see it at the bottom right hand side of the screen there. There's a tent. I can't tilt the camera down any further to see it. So somebody doing some wild camping out there on the old disused quarry. It's amazing the sort of things you can see when you fly drones. Okay, so I shall now bring the drone back and we shall make our way across to our next piece of waste ground. Okay, so here we are with the last clip of today, and we're on another piece of common ground. This time we're at Cow Paddle, which I guess you could say this is another piece of South Common. And in the centre of our screen there is what's left of an old railway tunnel. There used to be a railway running across this piece of ground. Used to be the old Grantham line, took trains from Lincoln to Grantham. They've changed that bridge, it's just now a footpath that leads underneath the main road. Now of course this is very close to where we started. There's South Common across there. And the Bomber Command spire to the right of our picture at the top. So we'll just bring Lincoln Cathedral back into sight there. And we have Tesco's supermarket down below us. Pelham Bridge is also there in focus. A view of some of the businesses down below us. Now that old railway tunnel down there, on the way back I shall actually take a walk through there, show you what it's like. So there's another view of South Common again as we bring the drone round. And we shall bring the drone back into land and finish off this video. Oh dear. Well, there you have it. That is it for today's video. A flight around the waste ground and the common ground here in Lincoln. And like I was saying, it is a no-fly zone, but I have had special permission to fly today. So I'd like to give a special thanks to the EAST Midlands Press and to the control room at RAF Waddington. Now, while I've been flying around, I have actually been taking photographs as well with this drone for the EAST Midlands Press, and you should be able to see them on their Facebook page. So anyway, thank you all so very, very much for watching. And don't forget, everybody out there in YouTube land, please stay safe and safe flying. And we shall see you all soon again in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'm off home now. Get warm. I'm absolutely frozen. Okay, so just before I end this video, we will just take a walk up that converted railway tunnel that I was talking about earlier on. Now, many years ago, I used to work for a gentleman who was a city councillor, and he was a member of the road planning committee. And he proposed that they should build a road through all of the tunnels on this disused line and let traffic use it to get out of the city at peak times. The road would have gone from Lincoln, where we are now, to Waddington. But unfortunately, nothing ever came of his idea. Now, with every big city, we have the usual graffiti, and some of it is really very good. Well, like I was saying, that's all for now. Thank you all so very, very much for watching, and we shall see you all soon in the next video.